And someone who I haven't talked to in 3 months, and I love his enthusiasm for the markets, and he doesn't pull punches, is my friend Gary Kaltbaum. Welcome back, buddy.
Greetings, good sir. Can you hear me?
Got you loud and clear, Gary. So, you know, there, this pullback we're getting recently, a few weeks ago, my target was an obvious 4,800, the breakout in the S&Ps, and I'm getting a lot of agreement on that. Makes me think it's going to be deeper. Uh, where's your head at? What's a state of play for you and your people?
Okay, well, first off, I'm a big believer that the market's going to want to do what it wants to do regardless, except until Jay Powell, I thought that was correct. But when you have the ability to wake up one morning and print a $9 trillion, taking over the whole bond market, screwing every saver, creating distortions and inflation, who knows what he can pull out of his hat today. That said,
Hmm.
all things being equal, everything pretty much sets up for lower.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Simple as that. And
Okay.
if we go back to, can we see the charts here? Just making
We
sure.
got it. And Gary, I was just saying yesterday before I did a show, I went across the board. I looked at financials, they looked heavy. I looked at things like cat and deer, copper stocks have been leading the way. They look toppy. And we all know most of the Mag 7 are already broken stocks. So I don't see any leadership in this market. Even the oils look like they could go lower.
Well,
Um,
restaurants are strong.
okay, that's a group I didn't catch, but yeah,
Okay.
you go and cannabis.
Oh, weeds, very strong. Thank you to
Yeah.
the government for wanting to get more people stoned as they put us into more debt. Gotta love them.
Wow, man.
Okay. Uh, so let me just do a few things
All
here.
right.
Back in July, we had three legs down, which is kind of normal for corrections. We have no idea if that's going to happen next, but of course, if you
Yeah.
take this out, that would be your second leg. But what I want to show you real quickly is here is the China ETF.
Okay.
And we don't know how it's going to play out. All we know is how it's been playing out. And just to show you, bear phase
Yeah.
gets back above the 50,
Yeah.
retests, moves up, retests, because you've got to, work off the resistance, sits around and finally moves above this. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to fail, but that's how bottoms occur, where price gets back above, the 50-day flattens out, starts turning up, and then starts going this way, and every pullback is contained this way.
Yes.
Simple
Yeah.
as that. And we're showing pictures here. That said, the S&P is uptrend, breaks the 50,
Yeah.
rallies into it, sells off. The complete opposite.
Yeah.
And
So, is it a layoff trade? Is it a negative correlation to the U.S. market? Because you're right. When we were going up parabolically, FXI was under pressure.
yeah,
And
go
what do you
ahead.
think? No,
I
what
don't
do
know
you
if there's
think?
I don't know if there's a correlation between the two. I'm just trying to show you what
Yeah.
a top looks like and what a bottom looks like,
Yeah.
notwithstanding, hey, who knows what's next?
Yeah.
So a few
Okay.
things to show, and you mentioned a few of them already. Number one, these are the transports.
Hmm. Yeah, we have a
And
Dow theory cell, don't we?
yeah, I'm not the biggest Dow theory guy, but I am pretty big about what the market's trying to say and what it's trying to do. And
Yeah.
let me just show you a few transports. This is a trucker, SAIA, and we're
Mm.
not talking about drops. We're talking about massive drops here.
Yeah.
Here's JB Hunt. Here's Old Dominion Freight. Um, Here's this one yesterday, ARCB, Arc Best. I mean, they're destroying them. They already have a bunch of the rails. Here's Norfolk Southern. We're talking bearish phase in the transports, and if they matter, I think it's of import. Next thing, I definitely had a show because, oh man, at the highs, I was getting 100 emails on it. The crypto looks like it's topped for now.
Okay.
Very simple. Here's the
Yeah.
rally, flatten out, break, wedge along, now getting below
Yeah.
here. The high octane and micro strategy has a bigger top in place.
Yeah.
We think maybe it's the risk on, risk off thing. I don't know, but I'd be wary of the crypto. Simple as that.
Okay.
Next, you
Loud
mentioned
and
the
clear.
we mentioned the oils. Here's the OIH, drop,
Yeah.
wedge,
Look at that.
break the 50. Here's
Yeah.
the XLE, drop, wedge, roll over. The
Yeah.
XOP, these are the three ETFs, and just showing you. And again, we're
Yeah.
talking about here and now. I have no clue what happens in November. That's the oils. Gold, I sold mine yesterday, breaking the 21 day, which means it'll probably be up $5 today.
Yeah.
But
Gold up 10. Yeah.
you can see why this looks like the SOX and Nvidia at the tops in March 8th, where reversed gaps goes like this, but gold's a different thing. And then I
Yeah.
want to show you the SOX and go back. I don't think I was on after March 8th with you, but on this day, I just simply said, I said that is not going to be taken out anytime soon. That is a major exhaustion reversal top. And
Yeah.
that's what we're getting. The SOX with this amazing V-shaped move up. I was like saying to myself, is this possible? And you can see rejected yesterday with
Right.
pretty much everything else. NVIDIA, which is the head honcho top dog, big cheese. I got 100 emails. Oh, it's back above the 50. Should I buy? I said,
Yeah.
just sell if it breaks back below. But it still has that in place. And of course, you have other things in the AI space like SMCI, which will be down about $80 today in here.
Yeah.
Big wide and loose top in here. So you got to be, and that's the break. And the other thing is the volume patterns. Heavy volume down, light volume up. You just got to just be very careful. I want to add in the advanced declines on the NASDAQ while the NASDAQ was doing this.
Yeah. Not, yeah.
Just
Negate.
tells you it was
Yeah.
going into the mega caps. And then, as you mentioned, the mega caps, well, there's some issues with a few of them, not all, but a few of them. And just of note, there's your AMD down another 10 today. Apple, which reports Thursday. What I'm amazed about Apple is the last 2 weeks, they ramped them up twice on news and upgrades. And look how easily they sent Apple down. That
Yeah.
was never the characteristic of Apple during bullish phases. So maybe they'll pull something out Thursday. I don't know. But let's just do some other big names that I follow. Booking Holdings, don't break the 3,400. Costco, Toppy, don't break the 700. Salesforce.com looks like a bearish flag.
Yeah.
Meta, the only thing I can say good about Meta, by the way, we sold it here after buying it here. The only thing I can say is you got this gap here and maybe this reversal, but that's on defense too. Netflix gaps down,
Yeah.
Oracle gaps up, and miserable failure. SAP, some people don't watch that. I do. Gaps up, fails. Tesla, okay, they said some things and maybe we'll see. But here's your Tesla weekly. And I would
Yeah.
suggest that has a lot of work to do. And then there's puzzling Microsoft.
Yeah.
They gap it up into the 50. They close it
Yeah.
here. Not a good day Monday. And they just cram it Tuesday. And I'm
Yeah.
looking for what's happened to Microsoft. Did their software go bad? I don't know. All I can tell you, this is the number one weighting in the S&P and the
Right.
NASDAQ 100. And you can see what I'm seeing. Google gaps up, fills the gap immediately. Amazon will be up a few this morning. Let's see where that's at. That'll just be right here. So
Yeah.
all these big names now, I don't have a big uptrend anymore in the big names. I have
Okay.
a bunch. I have a
You
bunch
just
of.
have them in restaurants and cannabis. And you know what? If this market gets rolling to the downside and it already is. It's throwing the babies out with the bathwater, but we haven't even really, we're not even down 5%. But if we get rolling and take out 4,800, that's part of the reason I think that the golds came off, because it's a general liquidation, and you need a dollar peak to shift that. You have a view on the dollar here, Gary, and
I'll just
interest
show the
rates?
UUP. Right now it looks higher.
Yeah,
But again, unfortunately, we have this interfering government of debt and
yeah,
deficits and
yeah.
Powell and I saw at 8:30 another 150 billion of treasuries. I can't the trillions that they're going to have to replace in the next year while saying everything's okay is about as laughable as can be. And I wish I can put lipstick on the pig about what they're doing, but the numbers speak volumes. And I think the dollar going up has more to do with weakness elsewhere. Not so sure
Okay.
we're the greatest of greats. And just a couple more things, and then we'll open up whatever you want to talk. I watch MasterCard and Visa. MasterCard's now down 17 in the aftermarket. That's just the
Wow.
two important big names. Visa's already rolled over. And then the we have some gaps to the upside. We have AstraZeneca, great looking gap. Eli
Wow.
Lilly, good reaction yesterday. Skechers, whatever they're selling, very good gap. I'm not going to shrug them off, and frankly, they'll all stay in my on my screen because I love stocks that gap up symbol TT. But I gotta tell you, there is just a crap load of gaps to the downside also. And actually even more. And if you look at some of these moves, look at IT yesterday, which by the way is a technology research company. I don't know what's going on there. That's in my view, and also the software ETF. Uh, Here's your big top in place. Here is a much lower high, and don't break that. That's all I can tell you because then you enter 200-day moving average, if not worse. So there is some good, but just weight of the evidence just keeps building. And the hope is for the Bulls that somehow this gets the save in here. And we'll just take it day by day, play by play. We sold all our tech except for Meta on March 11th because of this day in the stocks right here. We sold our AMD right here. We sold our Taiwan Semiconductor right here. We did sell our Nvidia at 850 and watched it go to 967, and we were pissed off. But now,
That's the last time you were on.
yeah, feeling better right now.
Yeah.
Uh, but just uh, O'Neill always said, find good bases to buy off of, find good stocks and there's just really not a lot of meat. I can tell you the big banks, they have a relative strength, but V-shaped up some of them, others not so good. And then I look at BlackRock and Blackstone with the bear flags on them
Yeah.
and Blackstone, breaking down. So I always say we'll see. I'm open to any and all outcomes, but as Marty Schwartz once said, we're just looking at a photo album for familiar faces, and this photo album has a lot of tops in place right now, and we're going to need some goal line stands in here. And who knows? Again, we get this guy at 2 o'clock, and who knows if he mentions, well, we're going to lower rates a point because we're worried about what's happening on college campuses or something. So, beats the hell out of me.
I'm worried about what's happening on college campuses too.
I'm with you, buddy.
Okay.
Anything
So
you want me to go ahead?
yeah, yeah. So I think part of the picture is yields creeping back towards the highs. You have a view on TLT. Perhaps okay,
Well,
there's a 10-year.
and as I stated, how do bearish phases turn around? You have the bear, you flatten out, you get above the 50-day, and you retest it
Yeah,
as the 50-day turns up, and then you
yeah,
break above. and now
Yeah.
you stair step up, and we'll see, as we say. But all we can tell you, and we'll bring the Fed in, every tick up is tougher for the Fed to lower rates
Yeah.
because this is the free market. Jay Powell is not the free market. He's just the whims of one man. And hey, I'm going to do this or that. This right here is the trading and investing of big money, small money, investors, traders, and speculators about what's going on in the world. And I believe that first before I believe anything he does. Though he had $9 trillion to print, which took rates down to zero, and you know what happened next. So, absent him printing money again, the trend is up right now. I suspect if the transports are saying something,
Yeah.
uh, the trend better start heading down because if the economy drops but interest rates go up, there is the market yelling stagflation.
Right.
Just remember, I believe in the market. I don't believe in opinion. I don't believe in pundits. I don't believe in predictions. I believe in the market being smart. And if interest rates keep ticking up as the economy heads south, that will be the definition of stagflation. And that is not a great scenario because at that point, if the Fed lowers rates in order to help the economy, uh, that will incite bigger inflation, and that'll be tougher to get away from. And then you enter what I believe to be one of those phases of no go. So
Okay.
we'll see. Um, you know where I stand. There are some good
Definitely.
stocks out there. I mean, Wingstop looks great, and I think it's up another $12 in the aftermarket. That's a big bull market. God bless them.
I
There's
don't like it.
uh, okay, Chipotle.
Look at
Uh,
that volume bar there. Go back.
on which?
The wings.
Yeah,
The
but it's going to
you know.
gap up today, $12, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, it is 12. All
Earnings
right.
earnings this
Uh,
morning.
all right. Buy the rumor, sell the fact. There's massive divergence
Yeah,
up here. Anyway,
Chipotle looks great. This Kava group, I mean, there is strength out there. Domino's Pizza is strong. I'm showing you one group, Texas Roadhouse. So you got restaurants that are in good shape, and there's other areas that are in
what
pretty.
gold? What miners were you long? And are you going to be looking to buy this pullback? I know I am.
I only got long the gold. I didn't get
Oh,
long the
just gold.
miners, but I'm a
Okay.
big believer in relative strength in the miners. There's the HMY, I think
Yeah, Harmony.
IAG, but they're a little toppy in here.
Yeah,
KGC, I'd
yeah,
let them find their levels. I just
yeah.
went by my rules yesterday with the
Okay.
GLD, and believe me, I didn't want to sell it,
Yeah,
but it broke the 21-day volume patterns are turning negative. I just think there's a lot of strife that can get gold turning up again, but
yeah.
I did what I did, took my profits, and we'll
No,
see.
that's discipline, Gary.
That's all I
You
can
know,
do.
that's discipline. So let me ask you this, and I know, I'm a technician, you're a technician. We talk
Yeah.
about the Fed and all of that. Isn't there potential for an exogenous event? I've been saying if you think what happened between Israel and Iran is a one-off, you're in a parallel universe. Passover ended yesterday. Are you worried about the geo risk in the Middle East and maybe even Ukraine now that we're sending long-range missiles to Ukraine?
Well, when you have students acting like terrorists and kidnapping
Yeah,
janitors and blocking other students from going into a library, those are students. Imagine what the real bad people have
yeah,
up their sleeve. So I can't argue that point. I
yeah, I
also
know.
worry about a financial event. Look,
Yeah.
here is our debt.
What?
That's a chart of our debt.
Right.
That's a chart of our deficits.
Yeah,
And I don't,
yeah,
this is a chart of interest on our debt.
yeah.
Um, I
So,
don't know I don't know at one point the bond market wakes up and says holy blank, and interest rates regardless of inflation go to 7%. We know economics 101. If you're a company that has too much debt and your business is going big time south and you need to float bonds,
You got to
Those
pay
bonds are
up.
going to be lower in price and the lenders are going to demand higher yields.
Yeah.
Well, economics 101 on, so we'll see. Again, I really hope this plays out well, but I'm a big believer in numbers. I'm a big believer in facts. And man, oh man, there's some things that are just going the wrong way. I think the best thing they have going for them is 150 million of us going to work every day to do better for ourselves and our family. They disrespect us. You've got Biden coming out. Sorry to get political, but these are part of it. He's calling for a 44.6% long-term capital gains, up from 20. He's calling for a 25% unrealized gains. He's calling for a 25% wealth tax. And if he gets those things through, holy
Who's going to
crap,
want to trade? It's not
holy
worth the risk.
Oh my goodness. So, and
Yeah.
maybe cooler
Anyway.
heads prevail, but I just think let's call it
Yeah.
clouds and let's call it again the technical condition of the
Yeah.
S&P, a drop, a wedge, volume patterns negative, the NASDAQ, uh, a drop, a wedge, volume patterns negative, the transports acting like the south end of a northbound jackass here. The
Yeah.
I can go on and on, but there are some good stocks, and we'll see what comes of it. And maybe we'll turn, but I don't think you're wrong if we take out the low recently. That's going to invite some institutions to lop off a few more shares of stuff.
I'm still in the camp. This is a correction, and we get one more rally.
I
But
can't I can't argue that.
yeah, so and that's going to be that may be it.
But
But anyway, you
but
got to trade what you see today. Do the right thing today, and tomorrow takes care of itself. I don't have to worry about, we'll see it when this correction's over
but
to maybe get long. Yeah,
just remember, corrections can be vicious. You don't
they
have to have
can
a
be.
bear, you don't have to have a bear market to have your you know what handed to you if you sit in things. So
I'm
if
looking
we
for a 28 VIX, Gary.
ooh, that'll be interesting. Let's take a look at the VIX. Yeah, and
So,
it's still
so
hanging in
basically,
here.
how you get there, you will take out that 21. You had basically, I don't know, an eight handle move from 12 to almost nine,
Right.
21. We pulled back 78.6. So if we have another wave and it's 1.618, would be 13, 14 handles from 14 and a half gives you 28 and a half.
Got it.
Okay,
Yay.
so that's where I'm at. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But I think then that's it for a while.
Yeah,
And
and
that's a pro-
again, there are some stocks sticking out for me. My best friend is always corrections and bearish phases because it'll separate the real big strength and what they'll do towards the end of the correction. They'll stop going down when the correction is in the like the last leg of the move. They'll actually start moving higher. They'll start setting up, and the best ones will start busting out first and we'll hope to be on them. I'm not so sure we're there yet. And again, we're just going to keep an eye on this, stay focused as all heck. If we're wrong, be wrong fast and small. And when right, hopefully you can ride them out for a couple of years. But right now, how crazy the markets is, that's kind of tough.
okay. Yeah, I agree with Kenneth, one of our attendees. Gary is clear and love to hear his thinking. And you know what, Gary? I have a feeling this was not natural when you started, and you had to learn to be a disciplined trader. Went through the having your teeth kicked in a few times until you had your new paradigm and you live by it, and you express what you think with conviction. So, um, was I right that you
Uh,
had to
I
go through
spent
some rough times?
I spent a few hours the other night going over the mistakes I made in the last 2 months.
Okay,
So
there you go. We're our
y-
own worst critics too,
we're the market is a constant learning process, but the bigger
Yeah,
learning process is ourselves.
yeah, you're right.
If I would have stuck to certain rules on size and stuff like that, I would have
Yeah,
been a lot better off in the last few months.
yeah,
But when all was said and done, we did okay, and
yeah.
we'll learn. I threw a few F-bombs at myself in my little diary to make sure I don't repeat. And again, we have to be our own biggest critics in anything we do in life, and
Yeah.
we live by that rule.
Happiness is enjoying what you have instead of having what you want.
And I'm going to be a grandpa
Oh my
in
gosh.
early July, so I have another person to teach.
More. So yeah, more nachas, and congratulations to you, Gary. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
mean Gramps. Uh,
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with me today and our whole community, Gary. Appreciate you over the years. We've been talking a few years now, haven't we?
Yeah, I do believe so. And may I say, Dale, it's an absolute privilege. I do appreciate anybody asking.
Okay, and it's really get a hold of Gary on X. You just use his name at Gary Kaltbaum, Kaltbaum. He's an RIA. He handles managed funds, and so if you like what he says, he says what he does, give him a call, check him out, and appreciate you being here, Gary, my trading warrior brother.
Until next time, thank you.
All right, Gary Kaltbaum, everybody. My trading warrior brother, guys out there, has discipline and definitely, you know, does not let judgment get in the way of the king. And that king is price action. So that's a wrap, everyone. Remember, don't just count your bar charts or candles and all that other stuff. Count your blessings. You're welcome, Lorena, Sinatra. Join the team, take Blake's suggestion, and make May pay. Adios.
Hey traders, this is Blake Morrow with Forex Analytix. Thanks for stopping by our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like these videos, share them, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the content that we provide here for free. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you in the next video.